to the extent say asem timi ba wo man ya anka bia sabi Kenya dia wo senka ekoba say Supreme Court de ne hu be fare mu na because Akufo Addo ono oni certificate na so he lawyer ni na afei omo akosuku abo bill class certificate no ono na otifie di remote control air control madwen na enya dia impo enka bia obetimi aye se mamenfa hinta na emane mma bedwam oye with impunity na esan say nipa bi nso so a sabi omo maame no matu omo school fees aguo suku a wokọ ya kire wade obeye lawyer ni sabi nimdie a wokọ ya unya ya Akufo Addo wantena classroom ankosua law yeso odidi obi achi sani pa krokra so France wa bon kra chen obi a no odidi na chi saa na odebeye lawyer oba Ghana ha unim say he was sworn into office singularly. He wasn't part of the many that was sworn into the court to the bar. And say institution no send was say no. Any send a binum so di omo ankasa ni monyam atwitwi form. Yeah, ama the institution a my democracy ni yakra behwe no. Aye tantan tan. Efreni yebo aso. Yes. I make say justice, I mean to me, because I don't, you see, every word has a meaning. He is an injustice person. So much of injustice. And so you cannot call him justice when he's injustice. Inya mampeni bia, oni na bedi echire. Oman ni omanfo ho da. Impo omo ka bibia omanfo adwen ye omo se eye papa no. Na omo asi echire de ye bone. Enu nti eye Enfie nwotwe a senka ensi oman no ebremu a nenka nokura sabi ye bo ho dawro ansana omampani Akufo Addo obedi ade no nenka na di ma Ghana fo hu se sa enfie nwotwe a etwamu na ye wo saifo bi a obese oman Ghana na watete oman na pansam eje ko jai ade bi Ora Mahamadu Bawumia ojaye nyoma bebrebe aban bie ni wono a sabi wa inherit nyoma Akufo Addo aban inherit ye no ebinshida na Akufo Addo na bra bomu no utimu se wo yourself ankasa brebia ne papa be di ade e wo Ghana ha okono oye Ajapade bebree di jane ma mu Ringway Hotel ne nyoma bebree ansa na Akufo Addo obedi mampani no na waton sa Ajapade ni nyina ama busua adaka susu abono ameto atu emu medamase mu sabi sika opeja no de ko enioma sabi basa enti ye bogana fo kokko e ma ni beda di se enya de asa nipa we betimi adi mampani wo Ghana ha ma oman we atumpon na obeji oman na obese no sanse oye Kweku basashiade sabra ye kanona Ghana for dwen say ebi ye tan bi na ye de tan no na nkanye bi sebi amayoko MPP ye mayoko asebi from the very beginning of the party now I've been part of it na sebi enkase nsi etianity ankan kan tresa bontinso for mefa kudi sabra na ne ye kanona ye kire Ghana for say enya mayoko MPP ne hia me man hu hia me kire mama yoko sanse mama yoko no ebeto me man na me man no sebi eni ho a mayoko ni ho ti ye boss ade ro na Ghana for ye say omo be so ahwe no ebe ye nso hwe na Ghana for nso hwe we nya ade a yaka ade asi ye sinipi broni kasa say never again sanse se MPP be dia konwa na se sei no musuban ti a enya ade wo say ye prince e ma MPP ba ban mu biem me ye sebi obi a nem pese metin tesu ato from them me teche mafa enunti makano baabi da na efine kure se ushia me na ka se me amayoko MPP ni a e je so person ka se me ekrofo me do be court ai o person ka se me am robber me do be court o person ka se se o ka se me MPP ni biem e wo wiase a me wo mu biem se me tiasi se me tese obi kura ka se me MPP ni am den be court o person ka se me am robber me criminal me embezzler Nyoma associated with crimes of humanity nyina o person o kase meka ho ntimi de o be court enti MPP de e wo say e tro never again de to so magana franka bia e twegu bia no ye bo MPP din a obi ehu say ya de ani kwan say ba fie biem da osoro na mu no say bi onya aboa papa e de ne ba fie na wasa ba fie be bodam ti wo hwe nyoma osoro ne ye ya nyoma tan a chese eni kwan senka esie kronobo intentia say na yesi judiciary yetimi kofa obi ma ne betena honom na otimi ka kire wo say o birth certificate kura na nkire say wo ye Ghana ni enso so on birth certificate ne so ne atro wo nationality esa wotimi say bibia e course bia e time the lawlessness of a lawyer say be only certificate nyoma hodo esisi ye obi a wakosuku wo so ye economist what bomu doctorate PhD o hwene economy o jai
okay wrapping it up
medicine is 8 years of the waste of our time is 8 years of adia chese any kwan say timisi biemu da it is say can never again now we refer to the NPP say any kwan say Ghana ni bia ma ne ho kwan ma amayoko MPP ebedi because peninim Oman Penny Kufo Fie Nwatwe Yantene ne da senior Kufo. I so revere him and wakame. But for the first time publicly, I've had to rebuke and admonish him. Say, any kwan say President Kufo to be for our fe biem. Onye futu for. On my way in your my komu nyina President Kufo ntime me na no anka bia nche Kufo do da. Obi ya osase ye fa Bawumia nto so. Da bi Oman Penny Kufo anya de. Enti no efine ko otu yefo a yemfa. Ye ba ye besra no yakokra no ye ne be din komo otu yefo a ye mfa because na futu onye afutu papa ye dalasi
innocent ma be too baba se cry every
yeah mencha what you for be I think the last 8 years who reviewer I don't know the right words are with me I used to describe what has happened in this country in the last 8 years and Rabico Facebook number say last 8 years has been a classic mixture of horror and tyranny together and a cocktail on myself and whoever what me a survivor under Akufo Addo 8 years will be a deserved certificate of honor as your born about because a Chen university a Chen military training a Chen anything you can think of obi a what me live this 8 years bia no ehia da medal enti enya sa medal na o de koma Kaswa Van Dam ne omo keka ho no Ghana for ne deserve that particular your friends a medal no and we results na by the outcome of your elections na a vindication of earlier position you move no hold say kwan na Akufo Addo afasa no bo man no ye mu man sa sa style of governance no belonging to antiquity sa tete enkura sesem bre no so benali no preso a we di president wa fa na yere nua be man nua we no aye ne soja mpanimfo sa enkura se amamuo no atwam we live in a civilized democratic dispensation where you expect to say ye be mamra aye adwuma ye di nidie e be manipa we had a president ansa na oba be di president no na onam nima esi ma na ema e ka banku ene nkura enum calipo at some point in time obey president no onam yiase na o instruct him for some sorry nchia no no munya hu so no na oba no this is a president living in a civilized your friends dispensation and ya kasi ye wura economy no ye wura mamuo no ma ye be boso enwieda and the outcome no e Ghana for ya get enough of this arrogance of power nipa no kura tumi na dwen ne say oye Nebuchadnezzar so oye Pharaoh okanyansa sem kire na they were not amenable to wisdom, they were not ready to listen to anybody. So it got to a point that it was the whole nation against the MPP and the Akufo Addo government. ena na ye preso obia kenyan sasem kirema enya de so mutie ena economy na namua na ne ye wie ye nie but it's good say Ghana for yetimi agi ye ho afiri this particular hell home and ye nimatena we are hoping say things will get better because mahusa manfo is celebrating na so for Koban na so for but we see so what's now we have very incisive analysis of Ghana's economy, the extent of damage and you overtake your friends a break a crack now home so because enya de ketwa and I yet hono. Could you imagine that the energy sector the only thing they could your friends say and say 5 hours gallons of your friends saying stock of fuel. Akufo Addo track record at the energy sector no. Abraham Mahamadu Bawumia would demonize no insult no and if you look at the various funds our body to her stabilization fund and other funds don't call $250 million wait them can we speak of the same thing this time around a car your friends a 5 hour stock of gas we no so a Ghana for said the na cost no be antan obia ayamamu boni na ye koso na nipa ko bia twen say amamu ne ya busia enchemfa enti yaba ye bubu ne tot afako makachos at some point in time they were running the country like a village pharmacy wo fa de ewurama de opa bia na wayi woni beba ahoso na agu that is exactly what they did kenofori ata de oman no bobosia nkwase aso saa ene oman no externally we've defaulted on external debt obligation to external creditors. Domestically, for the first time in so many years, we are not paying the first of my idea moka. GDP by winning the Padua Kumo Kroma say. Then the president will have the audacity to come and tell us that you tighten your belt. Or no, Transa say no whole Sukura and no tighten. Kenoforeta and Co were just going around this country doing all sort of mess. MPP for Kratina says no yanka say a party near Akwana then or your boy a party no. They confronted the president and said, no. The president chose in the Wafasia over the entire political party. And then the MPP has become something like under the Fourth Republic way. Bama political party being MPP da. Answer the Ekoto Abano. Afenyo Markin is on a minority chair on Tenaso. Now you're a majority leader. And unqualified to even call himself a minority leader. It's just a mini or micro minority leader. Oh, and yes, the open now. Yes, the open now. Benyanka Hanote. And the Okanoka. The open now. Benyanka Hanote. That is what he is. And the parliament no more. They are going there as an observatory party. MPP is not an opposition party. And the Anra. So Mahama in we are not say I second them. So second the party you don't have the numbers to second anything. The majority leader na kasa or 2/3 of parliament he can move whatever motion. We observatory party you are there say oko parliament is here. Afenyo Markin and the cameraman now ultra video parliament you know difference be they are observing the process.
But that's it. Solo
Obaya Amechiao.
Majoso.
Yeah, my baby.
Emo of Abia someone want to say.
No way pa.
Kwa say me see me no beef.
Beef dia could be salve.
Me no beef.
Ya chawe chief for no hefo baby obia. Na ya Ghana Force official pa. No crow over 8 years no. Miss feelings.
Miss feelings.
Everyone highs and everyone lows. You know can say you can't convince me say one never Akufo Addo no omo for them it was a very good 8 years. Ebi enya omo say tam such mass yet. Ebi eba bemu na chamber hall crowd muni and omo skyscrapers e wo be TI tisanko for no nyamia ye bia ma omo turu Akufo Addo omo wi oman no. And until almost are more quite sorry, and I see no money. Now, ye do no ano, Abrabono, and ye nini, Ewanasi. And until nature said, ye bay, but you see, your crew one, Jimmy Cosco, the common mesco, nay, and cherry history, than be more fupa. The most critical course, and as a subject, also mine, your cherry and quadra need the tree of. Ya ye GM watching, ya ye GM woman. Obia da sorry abusa no say eye den na busi aban ye tu no free amemuso ya to abama busi in 1969 as prime minister so tiase na wabusa ho say den 1972 ake champo ebetu ni free so ana wabusa ho say saa time na nabuzi aye prime minister and one na ceremonial president ana na one na ye minister of finance or secretary of finance sabre na ye do Akufo Addo papa ana na ye ceremonial president ana kenofori Atta papa a finance secretary and as and now we can say finance minister. Now adie ba ko Ghana fo gina so epam buzia memu na ye e ka chichiridie sango fo e besiabo Akufo Addo ni na busua ana ya moko pam wo mu firi so ena me no ka sei Ghana ye ka wahi papa ba ye ne ye de ka 120 billion o si en TV da ena me no ka say edu 800 billion
bro
what they yam the last report of their mind
bro
na wabusa ho say sika chichiridi dia ne dia ye what can ya almost ya construct 12,000 kilometers of roads 12,000 kilometers of roads no e Accra ko si Shanghai China and it dey Akufo Addo na busuafo e ka kire nyina ne say wo motumi aya e kwan a the thinking free nkran e ko du Shanghai e o China Ghana yetimu e kwan a e so hyepa dipa asendo do faso nipa do yusuo e ye nkran ko si dey
kumase
le tebia ye say
atutu asem
na Akufo Addo o de bon ho na no kwadi de twa mensuru mu se o ko se wia etumi ko commission hospital a enu ba bia che papa we Oscar minyame no Oscar me se wia fo so Oscar minyame manisi rage ha me ho na me kwa sorry
o kwa sorry wa rage
o me ayi no national na ade no ho de se ye ngoso mo sorry a na mo tete na hey sofo bia ni wa na o ka eho a mo na ya na ba na na sofo da bi sofo bia na o ka ho a ye decide say national cathedral there is nothing like go resign there is nothing like o
do mo nyina ka
o mamo nwene you see that is why people get away with impunity
okay
and 2025 sa yesi Martina we a me na me bomb pa ma o man bani mama wini me na me kanchi ye me na me kan tasabia mo otumi ye bomb pa me ye ka mo ba ma mu nua no mo president e kom na de Ghana for ana obi atena se amanyeko bi atena se ahyehye wo munwuma akoton wo mo kasa akere Ghana for se e kom ye de mo no e gira ABC di so me ku a me ka movement for change your candidate or the great transformation plan the koi ye kire kwan ya betime asi Ghana e koma no ana MB before the bold solution and the digitalization e koi ana NDC is 24-hour economy obo by 1333 one job 3 shifts ana Ghana for the tasse ye ana o say ye ne great transformation plan de o mani nye ho bold solution o mani nye ho na mo mpede 24-hour economy ya to about on by anyway. That's a woman about by the community yebumfu ana. That cannot be the case. And it won't travel be minimum.
Okay.
Ghana for to Obama who and say all my mess of your problems. Now, Andrew award a memendano. And a brother you know. You know brother. Yeah. What was a all born your man also big so didn't basis no. A bien boy ya Ghana for the ball museum. To say fight on corruption.
Yeah.
The whole Independence Square no eji boom e kire ora mama say Ghana for do do na fi say ye sika bia ko di nkofo ejinya nana ye ba betra all of a sudden obi anim say ajibi o te so mo no homodi
or directed traffic.
Now, when young gophobia, just some 2 months here, able to job day, and then a woman is 6 months 1 year. God, a chrono, a busy and this make no mistake.
Okay, wrap it up, man.
I don't think some of us we will play that watchdog role.
Okay.
It's as a young year. Andrew Chime to me was a video. Time I did Akufo Addo si so. Na sa Ghana fu ya ye so hopeful. No mu ani die mu pa. ɛyɛ dɛ na yɛ afi deɛ ne yɛ nyinaa yɛ bɔ mpa so wɔn firi so
okay
no kyerɛ sɛ yɛ di panin si so a sɛ bɔnni bi kɔ so yɛ nka nkyerɛ no
okay
na mo ayɛ na pressing for no mo na mo ma sa mpanimfoɔ di nsɛmhunu
medase
ya sa na tie
medase
sa so bebe mu
sa so na bebe mu ya Ghana ma kɔ so na guso a wutie no rally so well but your topics me di free soro me di no me di free form na for the new era no aba be wie form de na your petition na your sure de come former president Nana dan Akufo Addo say e was of Pam Chief Justice na anadwo da suo mu ade e be na wale former president no otchere krata no dismiss petition no enkofo ka say Professor Azar e be yank one tro foforo there's a new petition too against Jane Mensa kan nyina bomam in the next 5 minutes
say on my way Atta papa na fortunately you know yenya a hand a experienced hand and for the first time in the history of Ghana no yenya omampania wakwa sebi sanko fenti wasa ababi na elioma Akufo Addo asɛ no ɔman mu ha no ɛdɔso papa na de ya pa wasɛ no the judiciary sebi ene obia ni opepa mpo se onya asem a ode be kokot esan say Akufo Addo had destroyed the institution that makes our democracy the beacon of hope ebema obi kura timi ahwe so se na mfa mobra se wo hwe ekwan Akufo Addo an appointments. Then call for call Supreme Court. Then call for call High Court. Then call for call Appeals Court. Then call for call Circuit Court. Even Magistrate Courts. And the partisan politics are or the institution, play to the extent say asem timi ba wo memu ya nke bia sebi Kenya dia wasenka ekoba se Supreme Court deni hu be fari mu na because Akufo Addo ono oni certificate na so he lawyer ni na afei omo akosuku abo bill class certificate no ono na otifie di remote control air control madwen na enya dia impo enka bia obetimi aye se mamemfa hinta na emane mma bedwam oye with impunity na esan say nipa bi nso so a sebi omo maame no matu omo school fees aguo suku a wokọ ya kire wade wo be ye lawyer ni sebi nimdie a wokọ ya wonya ya Akufo Addo wantena classroom ankosua law yeso odidi obi achi sa nipa kokra so France wa bon kra chen obi a no didi na chi sa na ode be ye lawyer oba Ghana ha unim say he was sworn into office singularly. He wasn't part of the many that was sworn into the court to the bar. Enti say institution no sene was say no any sene binum so de omo ankasa ni monyam atwitwi form ya ama the institution a my democracy ni yakra behwe no aye tantan tan a efreni yebo aso yes I make us a justice I mean to me because I don't you see every word has a meaning. He is an injustice person. So much of injustice. And so you cannot call him justice when he's injustice. Now, yakoto aba yakoto no. Obiya nim say they are answerable to the people of this country. Aye Jane Mensa. Yeah. Jane Mensa kuntebu a wodi babe tu bedwam no. Yenyina ye ko school ni say 100%. Untimi fa bibia mroso. Na je say akoya de a sabi o pese o kire say esini nyame nyansa. Yeah. Nti say ye mkuntebu na say bro 100% and it is overvote and I say over calculation abem. Je men say timi ko ye calculation ma aba ye to ye no e bro 100%. Okay, count a percentage of the obi anya eboma na bro na 112%. Afi ye kan no akote so aba 109. Na ya kan afi yinya 8 different results from one returning officer. And ye dey asem be down court. Your Mahama somebody call court no chachu onim nyansa chen ajaje fo na muti wonyina nim wonim de chen wo munyina sanse wo munyina krampo no o mafa ne nsem wontitie mu including ani yeboa na omotimi aba bedi asem se nipa na ono no enye se bi oni Charles Mensa e bi omo namu asem na yebusa wo enye omo bedroom se je Mensa wo we dodo ye sen na yebusa wo ade ani yebusa je mensa ne say enkuntebu a wodi betu udwa no eni aba na ye to ye ne bo ebra enti bra na be kirekire mu eni ye bo ase je mensa wode ne ho enu nti no ontimi ntietia ne fa ahudie so e ma ne ma magina bedwam e ma kire de abato ne koye me the rule ni ko to me platform bi so thank God and thank my sister, my late sister Georgette Dejaba. May I pay homage to her because in fear me no echi munse ya na obe wuto me so Ghana. Yango ponfa the crazy. Otiko jaba nu apeni no. Na for the matter platform bi a judge for kuku dam omo UK any US and ebi wo Europe. Omo platform so. To me peja judgment na mbeko to so. The first comment after about 2 hours, everybody say this is nauseating. Judge knew this is nauseating. Say, obi a oye public servant, onye answerable to the people of this country, or no what managing elections are. Then what else? Because who judge in the crowd what you want, we answerable to us. Enti President Akufo Addo any sa onwane cronies no. Sebio omoye the bootlickers no. Oma destroy the judiciary. And I think say the earlier John Mahama begins his reset at the judiciary, you know, the better for this country. Because unim Akufo Addo nim say oye bone etia my Ghana. Unim say omo bokro no, unim say omo wia yen. And what he did was to make sure say he will build a syndicate of criminals. We have criminals at the judiciary. Criminals, broad daylight armed robbers. Some of them have stolen state lands. Some of them, they have stolen, they have embezzled funds. And now, judiciary, why at time? Obabi, I'll make reference to Obano. Ope HR Nedi. How the judicial, your friend is saying, service no, or might destroy no, and then says, I can't time there. Justice is be to say apart from say Akufo Addo mo call say munye say no o muni nyansa ni nimdie wo mutrim etebun be hia enye your friend say chief justice ne nko a ana e wo say yi na die o momra from judge ya na say ya wo so ye reverend ya gari ni makonom e call the hokoje judgment no e wo say sankofo ni nyina ye yi o mu free judiciary nim. They are a mess to this society. Because intentionally say when tie manu asem so chefa ye mua. Na watimi ahwe so chefa so abua. Onye judge ni otie Akufo Addo ano, Akufo Addo so wan call law school. Se pass ye read bibia Akufo Addo patrol na nim obeka ne kama onti ase. Onti de o kan ase. Eti nkofo na church on the judgment na the friend is saying the statements or the court man no akọ kan we na aboye sema ma no se brofo won kan obeka mi sese opa man Akimidi's book obeka ni in an hour but on tiase enti no the reset must start with the judiciary. But I think say so more asase free one so emwa eti John Mahama onye combination of the factors. Now on your reset, no, baby, start baby.
Okay.
Because anya sa on Judea ye war with democracy ni mono ata paper.
Sure.
Kaneno obi nya asem na oso okokota na owo vim se o Kwaku nya atemu say nya atemu yeto ana Ghana fo nso ye nikapre jo mahama ban yo ba yi sebi onikapre o de koma judge bia ajudge fo ni nyina konfon kwa judge otimi tena se ka se o birth certificate crampo your friend is saying interest on your Ghana ni we your judge eka we kura no sebi me de ne kotutu obi hu ba hwe omo so ne mbeko wonya judge eti ebe sre mama Torkonoo ne nua your friend is saying na ni kunu wa aban we mu aban ya Yakopon adom emizemfu aban ya omokoi aye hu omo bie mu na ni kunu wo mu eti wo de wa imagine say obi a ni kunu wa aban mu de na obeye eti mesre do mahama so pena sumdue no promise Ghana yi a onye the needful all right ebi ho no mo a se de omudi intentia ye no ye ma omu hu se ne intentia te
omunya a taste of it
yes okay ebe boa magana mpuntuo no se bi ebe koso a tit for tat and a tooth for tooth and eye for an eye no mose mra no eboa ye
mate
ebe timi ama se bi obi abehu ni smoothness level no wanya at least a taste sen ye wo kan no of how power is like.
Okay.
The mensa there on one by now was inquiry resign. Now
the General Secretary was called Ajinim Boatin and the chairman of the party was called PJ Darucha. We had an office at Kukumimli. And the treasurer of the party was this guy from Kufudwa. I will get the names.
What was the ideals of the party when you registered it?
Ideal.
What was the objective of the party?
Oh, objective of the party, you see, the leaders then realized that the nation is not moving forward. Because over 50 years and our development is nothing to write home about. So they believe strongly that when we get power, this nation should be developed. Do you follow me? So the idea was, they came up with the idea of development in freedom. These are people who believe in democracy. That's what all of us believed in. But it must be democracy in freedom. That is, there must be free elections, election devoid of any sort of influence or anything, monetary or whatever you call it. That is the idea. Because most of them that I know, they died paupers. And they really served this country. And that is not what we are doing now. That's where my problem is. That is not what we are doing now. Now, there are people who say, I'm not a founding member. So I keep on telling you, those of them who don't know the party, they should, you see, they have destroyed the party. The party wasn't like that. And I'm always praying that we still have senior people around. They should find a way to get the party back to the state that it was. At the moment, the party has been destroyed. Look at the results of the last elections.
And you think it's because of the factionalism in the party?
It's not a question of factionalism. It's a question of leadership. Leadership. I keep on saying all the time. Leadership. And I personally have really been shocked by the leadership of Akufo Addo. Because I had a lot of faith in him. If we had to discuss that, to take a long time. I'm not interested. He came in and he never listened to anybody. You follow me? But we have people like Kwame P. If he comes from the economy, you have nothing to worry about. But brought in your own cousins and it became a family affair.
You think that's where the problem started from?
That is where the problem started.
But he's no longer the president, he's no longer leader of the party. Why do you think the party is still struggling to find his feet?
He's still pulling strings behind. We know that party very well. You follow me? Yeah. And recently, I condemned that so-called thank you march.
The thank you tour?
It wasn't necessary. And I even talk about if that would rather create problems in the party.
Why?
And it started. Look at the stabbing in Kumasi, which led to the, to Kennedy Agyapong just leaving the group. I spoke about it 2 days before. You follow me? So I get surprised when at times you even advise them from afar and they won't listen. But the boys there now, their interest is not the development of this country. Their interest is to come and steal, make money. Look at that young Eduboyini. Look at the sort of charges brought on.
Signals
yes!
Bureau.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Millions. And the crafty way with which they get the money, they thought it would never be traced. So I have warned President Mahama. I said it on air yesterday. If they fail to prosecute these people who have stolen money, I'm telling you, they will never be forgiven.
I mean, in the Dubois case, we know the matter is in court. He's denied the accusations against him. We'll see how the matter goes on in court. But, I go back to the issue that if it's a matter of leadership for the NPP, another Danko Akufo Addo is no longer the president of this country or the leader of the party, that will fall on the doorsteps of Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia, wouldn't it?
Look, in my book, I say the mess in which we find ourselves in, we need a kind of leadership that can make decisive decisions without any undue interference. And I doubt Bawumia has that temerity as a leader.
How so? I mean, he's told us time without number that he is his own man now.
Then I went on to say, we have reached a point in our nation's history where the stakes are incredibly high and the solutions required demand nothing short of bold, decisive leadership. The economic and social challenges facing Ghana today, ballooning debt, rising unemployment, and an eroded public trust in governance cannot be addressed by half measures or by a leader who is constantly looking over his shoulder for approval from power brokers. And when I say that, you understand me? We need a leader. No, what we need is a leader with courage and the will to break free from political patronage. To break free from political patronage. Who can make tough decisions even when they are unpopular or go against the grain of his own party's entrenched interests.
You don't think that the former vice president is capable of that?
But you should have seen it yourself. Now, I am not convinced that Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia has shown that level of resolve. The final one. Throughout his time as vice president and the head of the economic management team, Bawumia's track record has not demonstrated the kind of independent mindedness or tenacity we need right now. Yes, he has the intellect. Yes, he has the intellect and the technocratic know-how. But being a good technocrat does not necessarily translate to effective leadership, especially in a complex and political charged environment like ours. So I saw long ago that Bawumia cannot. The point is, he wasn't even allowed. When a leader comes to tell you that he is not in charge and somebody else is in charge, how do you look at it?
But you can see that he's already sowing seeds for 2028 elections. You don't think the NPP should go with him again?
What he's doing now, he's rather worsening the situation. It's as simple as that. You have been in cabinet. Decisions have been taken on the economy, even political decisions. You have come to say that you were not part or you disagreed with e-levy decisions. If it had been me and I disagree, I'll take my pen and resign. And that is what I meant in the earlier decision.
What must the NPP do before they even think of, getting a new flag bearer or even maintaining the old flag bearer if they want for the 2028 elections?
I mean, what they have to do now, and I've said it time and again, those who led us into opposition, I'm talking about the national executive, they should have resigned on their own and block. And then create an IMC to run the party and go to elections. Elections that will be or should be devoid of money influence. It is through that we shall get the right person who can run the NPP.
We've heard others suggest that, look, they should bring back the likes of Paul Afoko, Kwabena Agyapong, Sammy Crab, who were let go back in 2015.
Oh, yes. In politics, numbers matter. A man like Paul Afoko is a true MPP man. A man like Sammy Crab, a young man, he's true MPP, he's got experience, he's been regional chairman before. At his age. You follow me? Now, Akufo Addo brought in Blay, a CPP man who was sacked from the CPP. He worked with General Eskin even dismissed him. Eskin told me that himself. How on earth can he become a leader of our party, NPP? And the worst thing is that when he was campaigning, he promised each constituency a new bus. Asking whether he was able to provide one. He came there to make money. And that is all. And these are the things when I talk, they say I'm not a founding member. Nobody is bigger than that party, than anybody. Those who know me and what I've done in that party. I was even once a national regional organizer during election period, a Dubahini's period.
We also hear, the likes of Dr. Amwakoba say that, look, they are moving away to form a different party. Could that be the future of the NPP?
That one is frightening. It's very frightening. When I heard it, then I say history is going to repeat itself. But what Amwakoba said, if you know the history of the party, you will get frightened. When we during Akufo's time, we were to form a political party, there was a division. We had UNC and then PFP. UNC led by Ofori, PFP led by, Victor Usu. And the interesting thing is that it appeared the division was based on tribal lines. You follow what I'm saying? And yes, when you look at it carefully, that was what it was. And that is exactly when we are not careful, it would happen again. And for me, that's the only thing that worries me. You follow me? We have not careful, the party is going to be split into two again, and that will be the end of us.
besides that, you also talk about other political issues. You talk about Alan Kyeremanteng. You talk about Charlotte Osei as, you know, the electoral commissioner and how she's, you know, kicked out of office. You have your commentary on that. You have to grab this book to read that. We can't discuss everything here.
But I think I would like to say a word or two about Alan Kyeremanteng. Now, Alan makes certain basic mistakes. And he proves to me, I'm not calling anybody, myself, that he's not a politician. It's not everybody who can be a politician.
What were the basic mistakes that he made?
When he became part of Akufo Addo's government, there were a lot of infractions, right from the word go, buying of seats. It came out in dollars. And he was the minister responsible for trade and industry, a newly formed government. Apart from that, there were a lot of infractions. And Alan is a respectable young man. And I feel with his experience, and even the name he writes, he should have had the courage to resign from government. If he had done that earlier, believe me, he would have led any group, or later he would become the leader of MPP. But he failed to do that. He failed to do that.
Should he consider the 2024 elections an end to his political career and perhaps look into other things?
No, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think he has any future in politics. No. That is my belief. I don't think so. He's not behaved like a shrewd politician. A shrewd politician knows exactly what he does. And my worry is that at the moment, it appears the political class are failing the masses. It's a big worry to me. And the political class are fed up with military rule as well. But whenever we get into the military regime, we are confronted with problems. Now, if we are not careful, what will happen next is mass revolution.
What are your thoughts about the new government?
The new government.
The new John Mahama administration.
Well, there is a new government. I'm glad you used the word new. To be able to form a government within a period of a short time, that I think is okay. The president also been able to put in place a cabinet within a short time is also very good. Now, promises given by the president, I think majority of them has been fulfilled. But what I will warn them about, that if they are not careful, can unseat them, is the destruction going on of our farms and water bodies. I'm telling you, if they don't tackle it seriously, to me, that should be the number one priority. But it appears it's being joked with. As I said before, others have said it, they should declare state of emergency in that area and hand it over to the military to see to. And the military will have this stopped within weeks, if not months. Because now our water bodies are all being destroyed. I think it's only the Volta, which even I heard is being polluted somewhere from the north. So that one, I see that as number one. But right now, our cocoa industry is running down. Farmers are not interested in farming. Water purification is costing us tons of billions of dollars. And if we don't arrest that, now go to somewhere in the Western region and you see the water and you'll be sad. Yeah. So to me, that should be number one priority of John Mahama. To put that in straight alone. And also, I am personally against arresting of foreigners who have been destroying our forest reserves and have them deported. They must be tried and imprisoned here first before they are sent out. That is where they will learn their lesson.
I see. Just, a couple of things and then we wrap up. Your thoughts on the removal of the Chief Justice and how it's going so far? What readings are you making into it?
Look, this country is a funny country. I'm not a lawyer, but I can reason. We have a constitution, and the constitution have certain things there which we have to follow, procedures. The head of state, a complaint has been made to him. He is following the procedures. The procedures have not even been completed. The committee necessary to look into the case has not come out with their own findings. Then what is the noise people are making about? Lawyers trying to attack. You see, it is pathetic. It is pathetic. If I were the former CG, if I call her so, having gone through this, with all this chain of complaints against her, they are about 7 now. What I would have done to save the country and my name and my family is to take a pen and resign. That's all. Why is she still there? Or she wants to be there? And those who are forcing that she should be there, what is their interest in that? The best thing for that lady to do is to take a pen and paper to resign. That's all.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.